everybody, my name is Brenda and welcome to Tangle Break. Today is Tangle Tuesday and we're going to be doing this tile right here with poke root, HOLLIBAUGH, mist, and Zander. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ready for our break today. We're going to be using the 8 basic steps of the Zentangle method. Step number 1 is gratitude and appreciation. I'm thankful for the time we're able to take a break from our day and the supplies that we're going to use, which are a 3.5-inch tile, a Micron 01 pen, a pencil, and a Tortillon. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with corner dots. And just put them in here. Okay, the next step is a border. And I'm going to do just like a little bit of a wave. And then the other side was a little bit straighter. Okay, all right, now we're going to do our string. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make sort of a triangular shape this time. So I'm going to go down toward the bottom here to the top, go across here, and then I'm going to go across here. So I made a triangular shape in here. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do our tangles now. We're going to do poke root, HOLLIBAUGH, mist, and Zander. And so you can see sort of the placement that we've got going on here. I'm going to start with poke root, which is going to be right here in this section. Okay, so I'll just start with my stem. Then I do a little topper, and then I'm going to go around and make my circle here. Okay, and I went over top of the border I have there, the string, and that's fine. Now I'm going to go up here, do another stem, and then coming out right there. Over here, I'm not going to go over top of my frame here, the border that I have here. I'll go back here, do another little one there. Okay, now I'm going to come out here, and I'm just going to go back and forth, going behind where it's behind. And then on my border this time, I'm just not going to go on top of it. So I'm drawing behind it so that it'll look like it's over top of it. But on this side where I have the HOLLIBAUGH that I'm going to draw in a minute, I can go right over to it, and I'm not going to go underneath it. I'm just going to go ahead and do more here. And then I come back over here, go underneath, go over here, do my stem, my topper, and then I just do my little circle here. And I'm just going until I fill in this whole little section here. And then I'm just going to have a stem going on up in there. And you can see that it's got like a little cherry in there. I call them little cherries. And then go up here. We just fill them in the space. And here. And I'm not going to go. Okay, so I went one over top of it, and then I had the other ones underneath. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I like to make it give go into where the stem is and make it almost like it's like a little hole going up in there. So I go from the edge to the stem and just fill it in. Gives it that look like the stem is going up into the poke root here. Okay, I'm going to turn my tile just to make it easier. So then I bring it back around. And then what I'm going to do also is wherever I see some spaces, where the poke root is not there, I'm going to darken it in just to help it stand out a little bit more. I'll show you. It's got all the little stems. Whoops, got this one. It just makes it look more rounded going in. Now, wherever I have a little bit of space here, just filling it in, and it makes the stems stand out a little bit more. It's not going to be a lot to fill in, but a little bit. And then on this side, I'm letting the HOLLIBAUGH, which we'll be drawing in just a minute, be the border. Okay, so that's done. Alright, so that's your poke roots done. Now we're going to move to mist, which we haven't done before. And it's very easy. You're just going to do a squiggle and then dots. And it reminds me of just mist in the morning, like dew. And so we're going to do these little squiggles at various lengths and just squiggle around. This one will go further, and then you finish it with dots. That's all it is. However far you want each one to go. Now sometimes you can have the squiggles go in the same direction. Sometimes you might want them to go a little bit different. And that's totally up to how you want to do it. You're just squiggling. Squiggle away. And then stop and dot. Squiggle and dot. And I'm going to go over here to my border. Then I just started halfway, so now I go back over here on this side. Now I'm just going to go, and I'll just squiggle away and dot it. Okay, and that's mist. Pretty easy there. All right, now we're going to go back to one of my favorites, HOLLIBAUGH. So we've done poke root and HOLLIBAUGH, and then the two new ones I'm showing you today are Mist and Zander. So let's do the HOLLIBAUGH, which is drawing underneath. So you just draw a line, and then you aura it, which means the same. Okay, and that's going to be your first, I call it like a board. Now we're going to go through, get to it, stop, and now you're going to do the drawing behind. And it's almost like you just dropped a lot of spaghetti or a lot of some kind of sticks or whatever, and we're just looking to see what it would look like. So you just draw behind when you get to a line, and the more you draw, the more you draw behind. So then you just pick a spot and you draw a line, and then you aura that line, and you just do it multiple times in multiple directions. And it'll have a very cool effect at the end. So just pick a spot and draw a line. And I just keep turning my tile. And the more you draw, the more it turns out to be like a little game to see if you can go all the way to the other side, drawing behind. There you go. See? This is my goal, is to get that many. So we have a little ways to go. So just keep drawing. Just pick a spot. And I mean, whenever you do this, every time you do it, it'll look different, because you just draw where you want to. You see a spot, go for it. I don't have anything going like this way here, so let's do that. Just randomly pick a direction and then aura it, and you got it. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. And the more you draw, the more you have layers, which is always fun. We're getting the layers. Okay, I'm gonna try, see if I can go from here to here. This should be interesting. Okay, and just try to picture what's underneath. Success. Went underneath everything. All right, so you got the idea. Now we're going to move to Zander, and it reminds me of like a broomstick for whatever reason. Well, not the broomstick handle, but like down to the broom, but you just repeat it. So we're going to make these areas, and then we're going to do the dotted lines so it looks like highlighting. So what we're going to do is turn your tile, this is it right here, we're going to turn it, and what we're going to do is we're going to do like, I'm going to go wrap around, come around, and then do a little wrap around, and then right here wrap it, so it looks like a band. I'm going to do it several times. So I do like a hook and a wrap, a hook and a wrap, and I try to do a little bit of a curve to it. Hook and a wrap, a hook and a wrap. I'm going to try to do 2 more bands. A hook and a wrap, a hook and a wrap. Let's try one more right here. Okay, you with me? Alright. Do a hook and a wrap, a hook and a wrap. Okay, so we've got it. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and do our first, like almost like a straw thing here. But what it's going to do is we're going to do line, dot, dot, lines and dots to give it the highlighted look, because it's going to be the middle streak here. So I'm going to just do a line and some dots, a line and dots, just like almost like a dash and dots, a dash and dots. Okay, now I'm gonna go right beside it and do very similar, because like if it was like a highlighted area, it's gonna look similar. Line, dashes and dots. Okay, all right, so I got my dashes and dots going. You want to do just a little bit more, I'm gonna start doing more solid lines here with like maybe a slight dash. And then as I go to the edges, I'm going to do more and more solid lines. So now let's go ahead and start doing more solid lines here. So then the highlight will look like a highlight. Okay, I'm just bringing it back. Do it as many of these little things as you can. They don't have to be straight. It's gonna be like, just think if you were like bundling like little things of straw. Doesn't have to be straight, no stress. Take the stress away. And then I just keep on coming down. And I keep on coming down. Okay, so now I have, this is like, I went all the way to the edge. The edge, if you want to like almost like curve it out and in a little bit, it'll look like it's like a bundle. It's pretty cool. All right, let's turn it the other way. As we got our highlighting going on, I'm going to do just a little bit more dashes and not really a straight line, because we're coming off of the highlight. Okay, now let's go for the straighter lines. Not perfectly straight, but the solid, let's say a solid line. We're just bringing it down, going underneath where the bands are. Just keep bringing it down. Okay, now here, you can start to get close to the edge. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just do that edge right there. Coming over to this edge, and it just goes out a little bit. So like it's, you're going right up to the HOLLIBAUGH. The lines of the HOLLIBAUGH. There you go. Very cool. I think that Zander is a really neat tangle there. All right, so we have our 4: poke root, HOLLIBAUGH, mist, and Zander. So it's time to shade, step 6. For shading, let's go ahead and just start with Zander first. I'm gonna be on the bottom because just think it's laying down on something. And then on the left of here. So you see the shade under where it grasped the straw pieces. And then I'm going to do at the end, so it's underneath my frame, and over here on the end, it's underneath my frame. I'm also going to have it on the outside here, so then it looks like it's on top of the HOLLIBAUGH. And we'll go back and use the Tortillon to get it to blend. Over here, I'm going to go on the inside of my frame so that my poke root will look like it's underneath. And then this one's on top. For mist, I'm just going to just give it a little bit at the top and then along the side here so that my frame sticks out. And then on this, I'm on the outside of mist. So mist is on top. Okay. And then over here, on the outside of my poke root, so it looks like the poke root's on top of the HOLLIBAUGH. Okay. And then over here, the ones that are on top shade what's underneath. So if it looks like that little poke root's on top of the other one, you put shade on the one that it would shadow. Okay, And then sometimes it's nice to put like a little shadow at the same area where the little stem goes up in there. Sometimes people will put a little comma apostrophe to make it look like it's got the circular feel. Okay, and then for HOLLIBAUGH, we've done this before. I like to shade the outside of like the main one that goes across, make it stand out, and then the next one you did, so that you can see the depth of that you're on top of something else. So wherever you're going on top of another one, shade on either side of that board. We'll call it a board. Okay, and then, so when you're on top of something else, you shade. And you just go around, it's like almost like a little game, trying to find the little pieces that you can shade. And then we'll go back with our Tortillon. So wherever it crosses over, and that just gives you some depth here. Okay, all right, grab the Tortillon. Let's get rid of these pencil marks, and we can do the shading. My table is shaking when I do circular motions. I guess I'm pressing down too hard, huh? Okay. So we're just going back over. This was on the outside, so it looks like it's laying down, giving some shade. This is on the left side, just so that it would look like if that was like a band, you would see that it was shaded underneath. And then on this side of the HOLLIBAUGH, and then poke root, so it looks like it's underneath the mat. And then on this side, so it looks like it's over top of your HOLLIBAUGH. And then remember where some were on top of the others, you just give it a little bit of shade there. Okay, and then for your HOLLIBAUGH, where it was on top, just to give it some oomph, so that if it was laying down, you would see that it was shaded. Okay, all right, so there you go. That was our break for today. Now it's time to initial and sign and use your chop. Let's see. Here we go. We're going to use this bottom corner. And, oops. All right. There you go. And so now we're going to sign on the back. And here we go. Tangle Break. And the ones we use today, for those of you that are taking note of the tangles you're using: poke root, mist, HOLLIBAUGH, and Zander. Okay, those are the 4 we use today. And the last step, step 8, is appreciate. I appreciate the time that we spent together today, taking a break from our day, and we can appreciate our tile in any direction, however you want to look at it, which is what makes it fun. No stress, because it has a different look, different directions you give it. So until next time, I'll see you on Tangle Break. Bye for now. Bye.